people. There was a quote from an executive from a Silicon Valley venture capital firm early in the pandemic who said, if they told us we were going to have to get everybody to work from home, we would have told management it would take 6 months and $10 million. When it actually happened, it took 3 days with no budget. So we all had to adapt to this new world. And so much more of our lives are online, on our mobile devices. And that's all a huge source of data. Companies now rely on that to manage their businesses, and they need people who can help them draw insights from that data. So the amount of data projected, this is a projection from IDC from a few years ago before the pandemic, talking about 175 zettabytes of data worldwide by 2025. Probably the number is actually much higher now. And the growth of this industry is going to just continue to go at a exponential rate. We're looking at tripling over the next several years. So the importance of data and being able to draw those insights from data is paramount for businesses who now look to find trends, find new ways of addressing markets, find new ways of managing their manufacturing and supply chains. Affects every aspect of business, education, and other organizations. So, Professor, if you'd like to talk a little bit about some of the data science roles that people can play.
Yeah, so basically, if you consider the current scenario, the economy, etc., and the fact that this program tries to equip you well enough with different tools and techniques so that you can make sense of the data, there are a number of career paths that basically open up for you. So, be it a data scientist, a data analyst, an architect, a machine learning engineer, a statistician, or even an artificial intelligence engineer, the basis of all these roles is nothing but data. And through this program, what we intend to do is to understand, to make you help understand the importance of data, and how do you actually manage data, how do you make sense of the data, what kind of stories you can tell with the data. And this really helps you in different career paths irrespective of the industry that you are working in. And this basically opens up a number of different roles for you.
Thank you. Yeah, and as you mentioned, Professor, it means that you need a broad range of skills relating to understanding data, the algorithms to deal with data, the statistical principles behind those algorithms, principles of AI and machine learning. All of these things give you a broad background that you can draw on and then specialize in any particular area. But these are all types of skills that are covered in the SPJIMR program. Did you want to make a comment on any of this, Professor?
No, I think it's good to go.
Okay. So I'm going to, as I mentioned, I have a couple of polls for the audience during this presentation. I'm going to run the first one right now. And it's a pretty simple question. What are the things that have kept you from pursuing a program like this in the past? If you're interested in becoming a data science practitioner, what's kept you from enrolling in a data science education program of this type? So we have these 4 different reasons, and you can pick 1, 2, 3, or all 4. If you happen to be on a streaming service, you can put ABCD into the chat box or comment box for your streaming service. And we'll just keep this open for another 10 seconds. closing the poll here. So the poll result says that pretty even distribution of all the different reasons. Mainly people have said that they don't feel that a program would give them the practical experience they use to apply in their jobs, or they don't have the time in their work schedule to do this. So let's talk about this particular program. This particular program, you do end up with a comprehensive curriculum with an industry-aligned learning path where SPJIMR has designed this program according to the needs of industry, what companies and other organizations have told them that they want business science practitioners to know and understand and be able to apply in their work. Program's a 6-month, completely online program. We say that it requires between 5 and 10 hours a week, maybe a bit more. There are online live virtual classes that you'll be taking, where you'll interact directly with the instructor and your peers in your class cohort. There will be integrated labs and hands-on projects on that same digital platform. And you can schedule your work in between the classes, your homework and your projects at any time, because the platform is available 24/7 to you, along with support and people that you can contact in case you have doubts or blockers on any technical question or any issue with the platform. You can reach out for support 24/7. You can also contact your peers through the community bulletin board. You can reach out to your instructors by email. So this is designed so that you can fit it into whatever schedule or whatever type of life plan that you've got and complete it in just 6 months. The QR code there takes you to the program page on our website, but we'll talk about what this is. The program is designed expressly for use of data science to support business decision making. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What the motivation by offering this program was for SPJIMR, Professor?
Yeah, sure. So, as you correctly mentioned, Stuart, so basically the idea came from the industry itself, and there was a huge demand for this data science skill set that is required in a number of jobs and different roles. And we sat down with the industry specialist. We figured out where is the gap, and what are the skill set that is required. And then we had designed this program, the curriculum, etc., which basically talks about, or you builds the skill set in data science right from the fundamentals, uh, taking you through statistics and the fundamentals, and then the use in the business for statistics and understanding the data wrangling techniques, how to manage data, how to manage data in a business scenario, and different machine learning concepts, as well as their applications in the business. How do you take decisions based on these techniques, these concepts? How do you use this in terms of getting in profit, getting in revenue, and how does these kind of techniques help you in taking any kind of decision, majorly in this uncertain environment and current scenarios?
Thank you. Yeah, and the completion of the program gives you a certificate from SPJIMR that attests to the fact that you've successfully completed the entire program. You've completed the projects and the integrated labs that you then have in your portfolio to take with you permanently to show off to your current or potential future employers and demonstrate how you've used these skills and how proficient you are with them. Along the way, you can take the master classes from the SPJIMR faculty, and you also receive membership in the Executive Alumni Network, SPJIMR, so that you can do career networking lifelong with other people who have taken courses through SPJIMR. So this is a really valuable set of tools for your career toolkit. Professor, can you tell people more about the Institute?
Yeah, definitely. So SPJMR is one of the leading business schools in India and abroad. We have been consistently ranked among the top 5 business schools and the best private B school in India. And we offer different kind of postgraduate diplomas, programs, management development programs for executives, part-time programs, as well as full-time programs. So we have a permanent center in Mumbai, which is which is located in one of the posh areas in Andheri West, and we also have a satellite center kind of a place in Delhi. So we all our programs are AICT accredited, and recently we have received the NBA re-accreditation, and we are also accredited by ACSP, which is one of the top international accreditation bodies. And we consistently are ranked among top B schools in the world in Financial Times, QS rankings, and other top management reported rankings.
And this is a sampling of some of those rankings from different institutions. So you can see that the programs and the institute itself are ranked extremely highly, of which I'm sure you're very proud, Professor.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Can you talk a little bit about your colleagues
Yeah, sure. So
involved in the program?
definitely. So this program would be, facilitated by a few of my colleagues, Professor Aditi, Professor Ashutosh, Professor Debali, and Professor Milind. So Professor Aditi, Professor Ashutosh, and Professor Milind are in the information management and analytics area. So their research is mainly in cloud computing, infrastructure management, and 4G, 5G services, etc., telecom services, and so on. And while Professor Demalia is the chair of operations and supply chain department, and his area of research mainly deals with multi-criteria decision making, the use of analytics in that, fuzzy logic, etc. So all of my colleagues are reputed professors in their specific areas, and have considerable years of experience, both industry and academic, to guide you through this customized program and help you in your career.
Thank you. So to become eligible for this, or to be eligible to apply for this program, you do not have to have a technology background. You do not have to have a prior coding experience. If you come into the program without coding experience, we will help you with any fundamental courses as part of the program to give you the foundation you need to succeed in the program. You do require a bachelor's degree in any discipline. It does not have to be a technology, computer science, engineering, mathematics, statistics, any of that. It can be in any discipline. And we do prefer that you have 5 or more years of work experience, so that you understand what businesses require in terms of the problems they need to solve, then have some insight from your experience on what role data can play in providing those insights and solving those problems. So with that, I want to ask one more full question along the way. This one is, how many years of experience in the workforce do you have? Again, this is not work related to data science necessarily, but just work experience in general. So we'll leave this open for another 15 seconds. All right. So a third of our audience has more than 5 years of experience. About half of the audience has less than 2 years of experience. So if you would like to enter into this program, you'll need to contact us, and we'll evaluate on a case-by-case basis if you have that less than 5 years of experience, to see if you're ready for the program itself. But this is good information for us to be able to assess who we're speaking with today. So I'm going to talk about how this program prepares you. And the learning environment, as I mentioned, is fully online. And you manage your curriculum, the different courses, and I'll go into the curriculum in just a moment. But you have visibility of all the courses that make up the program. You have access to the one that you're currently working on, so that you complete that successfully. It gives you a foundation for going into the next course, and we do that deliberately to make sure that you build up that set of skills in a stepwise fashion. The live virtual classroom lets you interact directly with the instructors. They can show you the exercises they're working on, share the code exercises they're doing, or the data demonstrations they're doing, share with you types of course assignments, code samples, access codes. Any of that information is available to you through the learning management system. You get to interact directly with them, ask the questions, and interact with your peers as well. Tests, projects, labs are all in that same online learning environment. And curriculum builds up to a capstone project, which we will talk about in a few moments. Along the way, you unlock certificate for each course that you complete, and then finally the overall program certificate I showed a moment ago. Once you have completed the full program and the capstone project. And the platform includes support tools for contacting our 24/7 help desk that can talk to you about both subject matter as well as the platform itself. And you also have the community chat, which allows you to interact with your peers, ask them for their opinions and help, and your interface to your professors to let you get questions answered directly from them. So I mentioned that the program is built in a step-by-step fashion, beginning with the orientation session, which gets you settled in on the learning management system platform, and then introduction to data science, the foundational principles of data science, moving on to data management within business and how data science applies specifically in a business context, data visualization for business narration, the storytelling that the professor mentioned, what information, what insights do you draw from the data, and how do you communicate those insights to company management in a way that they can understand? Have foundations of statistics that move up into more detailed information or detailed skills about understanding how insights are actually derived from the data, how statistics tells you what information the data holds for you, and then applying the statistics to business forecasting and learning which techniques apply depending on the type of data that you're looking at and the underlying patterns that typically show up in that data. Next to last is the machine learning module, which allows you to apply some of the advanced techniques in data science and automated machine technology in order to apply those kinds of principles to data science problem solving in business. Machine learning is important because machine learning is how data science systems now are able to improve the quality of the insights they provide um, simply by being exposed to more data and deriving more insights and then being able to build up a knowledge base on their own of what that data means. Last module is data governance in business. And the data governance in business talks about the fundamental principles, laws, regulations, rules, ethics of using data within the business environment. And along the way, again, the elective, which is no additional cost, and you can take it, your option is the master classes from the SPJIMR faculty as well. So this is the overall program. Along the way, you'll be using different tools. A couple of them are Tableau for visualization, the R language, which is specifically designed for data science problem solving. You'll be using those in the courses and doing projects with them so that at the end, these and other tools and platforms, you'll be able to say, this is how I've used them. You'll be able to demonstrate that. And as I mentioned, you'll be doing various projects throughout the course of the program. Here's a few examples. What we do is you get a domain, for example, financial domain, healthcare domain, um, retail services domain, and within that domain, they'll describe a case study or specific problem. This is what if you're working for a banking institution as an employee or consultant, this is the problem they want solved. How would you use the data science tools to solve it? Maybe specific to the particular module you're in, or it may be at the capstone level, integrating skills you've learned throughout all of the modules of the program. So, Professor Patra, did you want to mention something about how these projects are taken from industry and selected
Yeah,
for
sure.
this program?
Yeah, so these are a couple of illustrative cases, and as you get enrolled in the program, you will see that depending upon your industry and background, a curated project may be given to you, which would help you in making a data-driven decision in your specialized field. So it may include, as it's mentioned here, a couple of illustrative cases as mortgage analysis or healthcare prediction, data analysis with respect to supply chain, or in terms of marketing, new product development, market research, product launches, etc. So all these are actually backed up by data, and these are specific projects that have been curated only for this program to give you a hands-on understanding of how to use this data in these kind of scenarios that you would be facing in your work, industry, etc.
Thank you. So we talk about the learner profiles, and people coming into this program come from wide varieties of backgrounds, wide varieties of companies. People will be seconded from their firms to take this course sometimes. Sometimes they take it on their own, but they come out of different sectors, not just the technology sector, but you can see manufacturing, finance, consulting. Uh, Pretty much every industry uses data for business problem solving, and therefore you'll be in a cohort that's pretty broad across industries. So with that, and based on what you've heard so far, are you interested in this program, in enrolling in this program? So we'll leave that open. Again, if you're on the streaming services, A, B, or C into your comments. I do have in the poll, there is a maybe option, so A, B, C. Yes, maybe, no. Close the poll in 5 seconds. Here is the result. So 94% of our audience, oops, put that up on the screen here. 94% of our audience is interested in this program, definitely or maybe. And so I will share with you the steps to enroll. Very straightforward. You email us at simplilearn.net. We are the delivery partner with SPJIMR for this program. So we manage the learning platform and also the enrollment process. Email us at askus@simplilearn.net, and we will review your application for the necessary educational qualifications. We'll review your work background, and we'll then send you the offer of admission. And the program schedule, the next cohort, should say 16th December. I should have updated that to the later date, but the classes start 7 January 2023. There is an orientation session, but between then and now. So you haven't missed it. The price of the program is $1,49,000, which can be financed with 0% financing at $4,946 a month. And for more assistance, again, you reach out to us at askus@simplilearn.net. I'm going to take a moment here to share in the chat that link, the email address, and the link to the program page. So please take a look into the chat, and you'll see those available to you. So another quick poll question before we get to the Q&A. If you are interested, if you're one of those 95% who said you were interested, now you've seen the schedule and the cost of the program, when would you be planning to start? Is this something that you want to do for that January class cohort? Is this something you look a little farther out? We'll leave this open for about 15 seconds longer. While we're doing that, if you have questions for Professor Patra, please put them into the Q&A box. It will be much easier for us to find than in the chat, because there's often a lot of things coming to us from the chat. Again, almost 70% of the audience like to do this in this coming cohort or the one right after. So again, if you're in that category, or if you're in the category looking further out, please do email us at askus@simplilearn.net, and our learning consultants will discuss with you your options and keep you informed about the appropriate time to join. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing the slides so that we can take your questions directly from the Q&A. So we have a question from Subhajit, who says he's not great in Excel. Can that get in the way of using data science in business decisions? Is that going to be an issue for him, or how will this program help him overcome that? Professor, if you have a comment on that, I can also.
Yeah, actually, anyway, I mean, someone from our team has already responded,
Okay.
but the idea is that Excel is not something that we would be using for our analysis, and it won't be an hindrance for you to learn this course.
Okay. We're looking at. I think we'll share a response from a question by Kunal, who asks, "Can you tell us which is preferable, an MS in data science or an MBA in business analytics and data science?" And the response from Shweta from SPJIMR, one of your colleagues, is that the MS program would be more technical and MBA more business oriented. And the durations are usually different. This particular program is a 6-month fully online certification program, so it allows you to get a number of the skills that you want to apply directly. It's not a Master's of Science or an MBA program, however, certification program. There's a question about number of hours a week for the lectures. 5 to 7 hours a week of lectures is the number. And there are, yes, assessments, quizzes, and a project at the end of the program, so that along the way for each of the modules I described in the curriculum, you have assessments in order to be able to successfully pass on to the next module. At the end of the program, final project that acts as a overall assessment for your completion of the program. And question also about online sessions, live or recorded. There are live classes. Of course, recordings are made of these in case you miss them, but there's an expectation, and you should come into the program expecting to attend the live classes weekly. You will have access to the recordings to review what you learned, or in case there's a weekend or a session that you couldn't make the class. But again, you want to commit to being at the live classes as often as possible. There is a sort of a requirement for a minimum number that you have to be at live. Placement assistance. So this is not a placement course. You'd want to contact us at ask us at simplylearn.net in order to learn more about what career assist services might be available to you. Class timings. We had a question from Vipin, who asked about class timings. They are Saturday evenings, 6 to 9 p.m. Indian time. And a question from user UI Dreams, I guess, if I'm reading that correctly. What do I do to become a data scientist? That's a great question. I can talk a little bit about that. Maybe Professor Patra, you can address that as well. This program is not going to qualify you as a data scientist per se. It qualifies you as a practitioner of data science for solving business problems. Data scientists usually require more in-depth understanding of the principles, algorithms, mathematics behind data science in order to be able to develop new algorithms, new methods or models And in an organization, usually the data scientist would be assigned to look at data problem and come up with which models to apply, um, design new models or algorithms if those are necessary, and then data science practitioners, analysts, and that type of thing would apply those to specific problems on an ongoing basis. But Professor, did you want to comment on um, that difference from your perspective?
No, no, fair enough, I think. And as we said that this is the course cannot make you a data scientist. It basically introduces you to the data, how to deal with the data, how to make effective business decisions using different tools and techniques that we learn in this course and this program. So it points you towards the right direction and helps you in making a career in data science. But rest, it's up to you to pick it up from there.
Okay. And Kunal asks about statistics of candidate career success after the program. This is a new program, so we don't have that historical information for you, but you can contact us at askus@simplilearn.net. We can share with you some information about how people have fared from similar programs in the past. Um, and you can use that as comparative data. But you can also look on any of the job boards looking for what data analysts and data scientists are paid. You would look at the data analyst category or business analyst category uh, more of as a baseline for this program, and you can see what prevailing salaries are available there. Um, and I think, Professor, have you seen any other questions that you wanted to specifically address?
No, I don't think so. I think more or less we have addressed everything.
Okay. We have just one last question here from Hari Krishnan, who completed an MCA in 2017. Um, has not been working as a software professional, if I understand the question correctly, but is interested in this data science course. Um, is it likely to qualify him for employment? So, Hari Krishnan, the nature of this course is to give you skills that you can demonstrate through the portfolio projects that you end up with, and to be able to show that off to potential employers. Um, Again, this is not a placement program, so there's no job guarantee involved with it. However, our experience at Simplilearn with similar programs is that graduates have a good success rate getting employment at good salary packages. So again, not a guarantee, but we think this is a great program for people who want to move into the data science business field. That I'm going to conclude the question and answer period. Move on to the last question for the audience. Excuse me. Reshare my screen. Do have that one last question here. So, just a quick question for people who are interested in the program, especially those who want to join that next cohort in January. Do you require assistance from us? Leave this open for about 20 seconds. I don't think it needs to be open the full 30. And we have one or two people answering. So just under half the audience would like assistance from us in getting enrolled. So again, for that, you contact us at askus@simplylearn.net. Again, I will put that information to the chat before we conclude. And we want to thank Professor Patra for being here today and helping us with this presentation, sharing with us generously from your knowledge and experience, Professor. Thank you. And we also want to thank everyone else here, all of you in the audience who joined us today, both on our streaming audiences and here on LinkedIn, or WebEx rather. Again, in the chat is that email address and the link to the program page. You can also scan the QR code, get to our program page. And with that, we've concluded the webinar. So one last thank you to all you for joining today. And we look forward to welcoming you into the learning community with SPJIMR. Have a great rest of your evening.